Hey guys, Happy New Year's. So, one thing that I feel like we are always trying to figure out the best way to do is I feel like meal prepping. And sometimes it's really hard because you're like, I never have the time to meal prep. And so you want stuff that's like super easy to where then you can really monopolize your time, right? So, like, have a couple things going while you are working on something else. So, really having it in order of the most efficient way. So what I'm going to do is kind of walk you through what I do for meal prepping. And I know that some of you guys have seen this, but like I have my own weekly meal planner, HGHF style. So honest grub, honest foodie style. So I just made this and I made it on PowerPoint, but and I have each day of the week and then like breakfast, lunch, dinner. A lot of times I don't fill out, as you can see, like everything on there. But that way, like I can kind of realize like what I'm going to shop for, also then create my list, but then add it through the week. If I'm like, oh wait, what was it that I got? Like, because I forget all the time. Like, what did I plan on Wednesday? It's there and we put it up on the refrigerator. And then also that way it cuts on food waste, because I feel like there's sometimes where I'm like, oh, I totally forgot that I was even going to make that, or that's in the fridge and I didn't even realize it. So this is really helpful to me. Another thing, so then I do this, write my ingredients. So then when I go to meal plan, or meal prep, I write down the things that I'm gonna make in the allotted time. So right now Ainsley's sleeping. I have about 2.5 to 3 hours. So what I wanna do is just tell myself I'm just gonna do it for an hour, because I want other things that I need to do. So, the other hour I want to like go work out. So if I just say I'm going to meal prep for an hour, and what I get done in that time will be helpful for me throughout the week instead of not doing anything at all, right? So this week, so what I'm going to show you is I'm making my basil pesto, which is my favorite thing. Like, I'm not kidding. We're doing BLT pesto wraps tomorrow, so I'm getting those prepped because I tutor, so I want those already ready to go. So, no, the same. Basil pesto. Oh yeah, I put it on everything. So basil, the BLT wraps, I'll put it on like bowls that I'm also gonna work on, like sweet potato, quinoa. I put it on top of my eggs, like everything. I love it. So I'm gonna make that and then prep the bacon. So I'll just go ahead and cook some of the bacon in the oven, have that all ready to go. So for the BLTs, for my egg scramble too, which I'd put is the breakfast thing that I am having this week. So those work so prep the bacon for the dinner, also for the breakfast. And then I'm cooking quinoa in my Instapot. So I'll show you how to do that for a little like med bowl per se. I'm gonna roast my sweet potato when I cook my bacon. And then I promised Ainsley I would make the oat bars with her. So I have it on highlights already, but that, just keep in mind, if that's not at the end of this, like what we see, it's because she wants to make those with me. And then I'm gonna make my vinaigrette salad dressing, and then my chickpea curry salad. So it sounds kind of like a lot, but once you see me put it in order, I'm gonna set the timer. I'm gonna set it for 45 minutes because I ideally would like to finish in 45 minutes. But if not, I'll allow my time to be an hour, and I'm gonna hyperlapse some of them so it goes quick, because you don't want to watch me do this for an hour, and just kind of show you the step-by-steps of how I get it done. So I hope that this will be really helpful for you guys. Okay, so what I'm gonna work on first is the big things. So I'm going to get my sweet potato done. I'm going to put my bacon on the sheet as well. I got parchment and the baking sheet, and then I'm gonna put the quinoa in. So all three of those things are gonna take the longest. So while those are cooking, that's when I'll do like my basil pesto and my curry chickpea salad and things like that. So what I'm really gonna do is I'm gonna cut the sweet potato into just little cubes. I'm gonna coat it with olive oil, and then I think I'll switch up the seasoning sometimes, but I think I'm gonna do cumin and paprika and a little salt and pepper this time. So super easy seasoning, toss it, and I'll put it in there. So I'll show you guys that through one of the hyperlapse, so you don't have to sit here and listen to me chop the sweet potato up. Okay, so now you can see I have my bacon ready, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the oven at 400, so it's preheated and it's ready to go. So I am gonna put this one at the top because the bacon's gonna get done first, and then I'm gonna put the sweet potatoes below that because they will take longer. And then I am going to set the timer for like 12 minutes for the bacon. And then I usually like to let the sweet potatoes like 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes. So I will check on that. So I'm gonna set the timer for 12 minutes for the bacon at 400. And then I'm going to get started on my quinoa. So I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna put into the Instant Pot bowl, because I put my Instant Pot over there so that I could utilize my kitchen counter space. So I'm gonna do 2 cups of heirloom quinoa. So with doing 2 cups of the quinoa, you in the Instant Pot wanna do 1 cup of liquid. So I am going to do, instead I'm going to do chicken broth instead of liquid, just because, and you can use vegetable broth too if you're a vegetarian, but I just feel like it adds that extra flavor. Whenever we add water, I just feel like in smoothies and things like that, it just waters it down, right? So I'm always about that extra little bit of flavor. So I'm going to do 2 cups of quinoa. This is my half cup. I couldn't find my 1 cup. So I'm gonna do 4 of these. Okay. And then I will add my chicken broth into it. And I do love these little 8-ounce chicken broths because I always feel like when you open up a big chicken broth, you're not supposed to let it, you need to use it right away after you open it up. I think it's like a day or 2, or else it goes bad. It goes back really bad really fast. So the individual ones are really helpful. Okay, so now I'm going to go over and I'm going to put it in my Instant Pot, and I'm going to set it for pressure cook for 2 minutes, and then I'm going to have it naturally release for 10. So I'll show you guys that over on the Instant Pot too. Okay, so with my Instant Pot, I am going to take the lid and I'm gonna make sure that the valve is turned to where it's locked. You don't want it open, or else the steam will just come out and it won't work efficiently. So you turn it that way, lock it, and then pressure cook. I'm gonna do 2 minutes. And then it will come to pressure. We'll do the 2 minutes and then naturally release for 10. Okay, so now we have the quinoa going, we have the sweet potatoes going, and the bacon going. So we're in really good position right now. And it's been about 17 minutes. So now I'm getting ready on my chickpea salad. So I have a little potato masher, and that's what I use to mash the chickpeas to get them into my curry chickpea salad. So I am going to work on that, and then the next thing that I will do is the basil pesto. So I'm gonna hyperlapse the chickpea salad for you guys next. Okay, so when I was doing the chickpea salad, my bacon came out, and so that is cooling. My sweet potatoes are still going, and then in about like 2 minutes, I'm going to quick release for the quinoa, and that will be done. So you guys saw me make my chickpea, and I'm sorry, the sun is like in a really bad position right now. But so my chickpea salad, and then the last thing that I'm going to do is add some ground up cashews. So putting it in your food processor and grinding that up, and then adding that last to your chickpea salad is going to give it that really nice crunch. And then I just fold it in with my spatula. Okay, I am telling you, curry was not my thing, and then now I didn't know it wasn't my thing. I just think I just was scared to cook with it because I'm not used to cooking with curry. And so now this is like, I love it. The green curry paste, the powder, it's really easy and really healthy. So you guys are going to really enjoy it. I use the Greek yogurt and then just a little bit of mayo. So it's not a heavy sauce. And so I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so last but not least, for right now, I am making, because I think, let me check my list. So I did the bacon, I did the quinoa, the sweet potatoes are in the oven, I did the chickpea salad. Oh, I wanted to do my vinegar salad dressing, so I'll do that. And then the basil pesto. And I'm looking good on time. I'm about 30 minutes in. So I'm gonna do the pesto and then I'll show you guys the salad dressing as well. So then cashew bars with Ainsley. So within like 45 minutes. I might also chop up some vegetables too. Like I like to always have like celery and carrots, I'm like staring at them, and cucumbers to just nosh on throughout the week. So I am going to put my basil in my food processor. I'll turn it down a little so you guys can see. Okay, so I'm gonna put the basil in the food processor right here. And then I'm doubling the recipe. So it normally calls for half a cup of olive oil, but I'm gonna go ahead and just do a whole cup. All right, so then I am going to just pour the pesto into my jar. And I will take the spatula and get the rest out of there. But so then now I have my pesto for the whole week ready to go for my wraps, my bowls if I want to put it on there, or eggs or anything for breakfast in the morning. Okay, so the last thing really quickly that I'm going to show you guys how to make is my red wine. I changed it. I was going to do my white wine shallot vinaigrette, but I'm actually going to do my red wine vinaigrette. So I already accidentally started doing it without pressing play, sorry. I put 2/3 of the red wine vinaigrette in there, and then I'm going to mince a large garlic clove into this, if you can see, right there, perfect. So into the same salad dressing shaker. Let me put it down a little bit. And then I'm going to do a big squeeze of Dijon mustard. Oops, I'll shake it a little bit. Okay. So big squeeze of Dijon mustard, and then the olive oil. So I will do, it's 4/3 to 2/3. So 4/3 olive oil to 2/3 red wine vinegar. So I'm gonna do 2/3 regular and then 2 light. So 2/3 regular olive oil. And then 2/3 light, but since I don't have any light right now, I'm actually going to do the grapeseed oil, which is a really good alternative for light olive oil. And then 2/3 of the light. And then salt and pepper. And that is it. And then I'm going to shake it up, and that's the dressing. Perfect, easy, simple, no store-bought dressings here, a lot healthier for you, and then you'll have it for the rest of the week. Okay, so I mixed my dressing up, and so now you can see, and I'm gonna check back on my list. So I made my basil pesto, bacon, quinoa, sweet potatoes, the salad dressing, and then the chickpea salad, all within 45 minutes, and now all of that's ready to piece together for meals. So either I'll use my sweet potato maybe with some eggs in the morning, or the basil with the eggs in the morning, or I might make the quinoa, do sweet potato, do cucumbers, maybe some feta, some of the dressing for a bowl for lunch. Bacon I can put with my BLT pesto wraps that are going to be this week for dinner, but then also for my egg scramble bowl. So all these things that you already prepped so that you can use through the rest of the week and make your life so much easier. So I hope this helped a little bit. If there's any questions that you guys have or anything at all, please direct message me or shoot me an email or anything like that, because I'd love to help.